What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely gonna want to check this one out. So we got that newest mayor of NYC, Zoran Mamdani, getting himself into even more trouble as he's now the subject of a $100 million lawsuit by the very people that voted him in as the mayor of NYC, guys. And I'm excited to get into this one. So when I'm straight into it, all I ask that you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
They arrested a number of people who were trying to block ICE from going out and actually enacting a raid. What's going to happen after January 1st when the NYPD is your NYPD? Are they going to continue to, say, clear the streets and help ICE do their work?
I think we're going to make it very clear that the NYPD is not assisting ICE in their actions. And I've said, even directly to the president, frankly, that these raids are cruel and inhumane, and they do nothing to actually serve the interests of public safety. And while so much of the focus has been on the attempted raid at Canal Street, we know that ICE's actions extend far beyond that in New York City. You know, recently, a father and his 6-year-old son were detained. His son went to an elementary school in my district in Astoria, Juan Sheen, and we still do not know where they are. And this has been part of the transformation of sites that used to be areas of routine immigration check-in, like 26 Federal Plaza, making them instead places where families are detained and deported even when a child is as young as 6 years old.
In a case like that, are you in a position to sort of contact the White House and just ask to cut through the bureaucracy and fix that particular case?
I will always make the case directly. And the fact of the matter is we deserve a mayor who understands their responsibility is to every person who calls the city home, and that includes the more than 3 million immigrant New Yorkers who do so, and I look forward to being that mayor.
All right, folks, this is a very dangerous game that Zoran Mamdani, that new mayor of NYC, is playing. Said he's going to fight against the Trump administration's efforts to carry out the largest mass deportation operation this country has ever seen, and we've already seen how that's played out in the past. This is definitely not the right path to be taken if you're Zoran Mamdani, the incoming mayor of NYC, but that's not it. He's also came out in his latest statement vowing to allow homeless and the criminals of NYC to take over and flood the streets.
In tweets that he's done since the start of his administration, thousands of sweeps have happened since 2024, but no one has been offered permanent housing, and I think the data from May was 114 were offered in shelter. Will you continue those tweets? They were asking you not to.
No.
And this right here is exactly what we tried to warn New Yorkers about, the true interest of Zoran Mamdani. He said all the quiet parts out loud. He wants a full-on Islamic takeover in the streets of NYC, and this right here just shows it. Now Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani is saying he's banning the clearing of homeless camps in Manhattan, which will be detrimental to the city of New York.
This one horrible idea, nearly above all of his other horrible ideas, will have the most immediate, noticeable, and devastating impact on quality of life in New York City. Unchecked homeless encampments will wipe away the final veneer of civility the city was clinging to. She wrote, "It's going to get bad, it's going to get bad fast, and it's going to be impossible to ignore." This is a guy who is gonna destroy this city.
And what we're gearing up to see here is one of the largest I told you so moments coming from New Yorkers and the individuals that supported and voted this guy Zoran Mamdani into power. We tried to warn, we tried to educate New Yorkers on the dangers associated with voting someone like Mamdani, the socialist halfway candidate, in to serve as the mayor of your city. I mean, it's only going to spell bad news and trouble, but now these folks will just have to see for themselves. And coming on the heels of that one, we got Zoran Mamdani hopping right back aboard the hate train, showing folks that he still is unable to condemn violence against folks of the Jewish faith.
Will you condemn your supporters for harassing Jews outside New York City synagogues? You're not gonna condemn your supporters for harassing Jews, Mr. Zoran?
The supporters that I have are the ones focused on the affordability.
Are you nervous?
Wow, and that right there just tells you everything you need to know about Zoran Mamdani, unable to condemn violence against folks of the Jewish faith, but on the other hand, he's forcing the NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch to apologize for telling the truth and saying that Zoran Mamdani is the enemy of the Jewish people.
It's been reported that Benjamin Tisch, the brother of the police commissioner, told a charity group last night that you are the enemy of the Jewish people. Do you have a response to that?
The commissioner apologized to my team for those remarks, and I look forward to being a mayor for each and every New Yorker, including Jewish New Yorkers.
And I'm going to be completely honest here. I don't believe an apology was needed for this one. It was just the truth. All the facts line up to show that Zoran Mamdani is clearly not on the side of folks of the Jewish faith. But despite all the hatred that they've been receiving lately from folks of NYC, we got over 1,000 Jews showing up just last night to show Zoran Mamdani and all his anti-Semitic supporters that they are not afraid.
Right now, I'm here at the rally in support of the Park East Synagogue, where just a month ago, Hamas supporters terrorized a shul, and our incoming mayor, Mr. Mamdani, essentially supported it, saying that the event was illegal, getting Jews to move to Israel. As you can see, there's nothing but love and joy here, kids singing on stage. I'm Yisrael Chai.
And this one was very heartwarming, refreshing to see that despite all the hatred that they've been receiving as of late, coming from Mamdani Islamic supporters in NYC, folks of the Jewish faith gathered together to show that they're still unified and they're not backing down. Now, I want to flip over to even more devastating news coming from Zoran Mamdani, that news that I promised on the front end of the $100 million lawsuit that he now faces. Let's hop straight off into the details so you guys can get the scoop of what's going on there.
Zoran Mamdani is a racist. He hates white people, and he has officially put on his campaign website, and now being the mayor-elect, he's talking about taxing white New Yorkers at a higher rate than other people simply for the color of their skin. The only problem with that is there's something called the Civil Rights Act, and there's also something called the 14th Amendment, which guarantees equal protection under the law for all Americans. And so this racist, this anti-white racist is going to feel the constitutional long arm of the law come back and slap him now and try to see how he can run from his own statements he's made and the plans he's planning to enact as mayor of New York City. This is ridiculous. It's really egregious. And every New Yorker, every white New Yorker that voted for him, what were you guys thinking? How could you do that?
Yeah, Zoran literally said, I'm going to want to tax white people, right? We're going to pay for these social programs, all this free handout garbage with the money of white people.
And realize there's a policy proposal that says your plan, and I'm going to quote it for folks, is to shift the tax burden from overtaxed homeowners in the outer boroughs to more expensive homes in richer and whiter neighborhoods. Explain why you are bringing race into your tax proposal.
That is just a description of what we see right now. It's not driven by race. It's more of an assessment of what neighborhoods are being undertaxed versus overtaxed.
It's ridiculous, right? It's going to be the white neighborhoods he goes after to fund all these programs. So what exactly did you do today?
Well, we've actually served Zoran Mamdani this $100 million lawsuit. My organization, Federal Watchdog, has filed this in the Southern District of New York. And it's crazy because in his own acceptance speech, he thanked, Yemenis bodega owners and Uzbek nurses and all these immigrants, but he never mentioned the white New Yorkers that built New York City, the Irish, the Polish, the Italians, the Jewish people who are the backbone of New York City. And he has specifically said he's going to steal the wealth out of those neighborhoods and give it to all the EBT card holding, all the social program and social welfare holding, Black, Spanish, Muslim New Yorkers that unfortunately do not go to work every day but rely upon these socialistic, opportunistic programs. And this is heinous. This is exactly how you get a massive exodus out of New York City. I can't believe we're living in days where the people, the white Americans that built this great city of New York, are now becoming second-class citizens. It almost seems like like a new civil rights movement. White New Yorkers are now forced to sit on the back of the bus. And this is kind of like a Rosa Parks scenario again, where white New Yorkers being discriminated against have to stand up for themselves and demand justice.
Okay, so $100 million is what you're seeking. Are there any other parties to this lawsuit, or is it just you as a native New Yorker? Because you're a native
New Yorker and landowner in New York. But what makes this really interesting is Federal Watchdog, my organization, is actually opening up this lawsuit. And we have just put together a website. You can go on fedwatchdog.org and you can sign up right there. If you are a New Yorker and you're a homeowner, or you live in a white neighborhood in New York and you're worried about you being taxed more simply because of the color of your skin, please sign up on our website. We're opening this litigation up and going to turn it into a massive civil lawsuit where anybody can join in to make sure that your rights are not infringed upon by this radical invader Muslim extremist.
So I think it's safe to say that things are heating up and heating up very quickly for the newest mayor of NYC, Zohran Mamdani. He's now the subject of a $100 million civil lawsuit for discrimination. And that's what happens when you're supposed to be the leader of a city and now you're openly discriminated against folks based off their skin color. I can't say I didn't see this one coming. And to make matters even worse, Zohran Mamdani is doubling down his fight against Trump's efforts to clean up the crime and migrant crisis that his city currently faces. This guy just is not real.
Donnie, you had an interview in New York One with our political anchor, Errol Lewis. He asked you a very specific question. You're the mayor and in charge of the NYPD. Are you going to ensure and tell NYPD leadership that when ICE or federal agents want to have an operation, it is their responsibility to make sure they can do that? Do you consider that an unlawful assistance for ICE in some of the operations?
I would say that to follow the letter of the law, the sanctuary city policies that we have, and to ensure that we never again open the door on the idea of the NYPD doing civil immigration enforcement. And I would also add that what I've seen in the findings thus far is following that sanctuary city policy, and wherever there is actions that go outside of that, that has to be changed.
This guy Zohran Mamdani is in for a treat. He does not understand that he's getting himself in over his head with this fight against the Trump administration, and then his whacked out agenda is going to spell disaster for NYC and also for himself. Looks like he's already in debt, $100 million after this lawsuit settles in. We'll definitely continue to follow this one, but I want to end it on a lighter note and just remind people of the stupidity, or the kind of stupidity that we're dealing with the leadership in NYC. Check this one out. This is a Democratic Congresswoman, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, that airhead of Congress, saying that banning men from women's restrooms endangers girls. You can't make this stuff up.
It's disgusting, and everybody, no matter how you feel on this issue, should reject it completely. What are they doing? They're doing this so that Nancy Mace can make a buck and send a text and fundraise off an email. They're not doing this to protect people. They're endangering women. They're endangering girls of all kinds. And everybody should reject it. It's gross. Thank you.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness. And honestly, I can't even act shocked or surprised when I hear these types of things. Zohran Mamdani, that newest mayor of NYC, getting himself into even more legal trouble, because that's exactly the type of guy that he is. He got elected in based off of a grift, a scam, an act that he was putting on for the people of New York, and they just didn't understand. They couldn't see through the charade that he was putting on, but now it's all coming back to haunt him, even before he's even sworn in as the mayor of NYC, as he's the subject of a $100 million discrimination lawsuit that could really come back to haunt him. And honestly, all the evidence is right there. It's front facing. He proposed this and he promised it on the campaign trail that he was going to tax whiter neighborhoods more than he would other individuals, and you just cannot do that. He forgets, and I think this goes back to his experience, his resume. You look, he's never had a leadership position or even a real job, so he doesn't understand the seriousness that his words have. If you say this and you propose that you're going to tax based off of folks' skin color, it could really come back to bite you. But this is one that I'm going to continue to follow. This is just the tip of the iceberg with Zohran Mamdani and the trouble that he's currently facing. If I get any updates, it'll be right here again with your boy RetroStef, guys. But I want you to hop in that comment section. Comments are open. My question for today is, does Zohran Mamdani end up having to come out of pocket for this new discrimination civil lawsuit, $100 million lawsuit that he's currently facing? Hop in the comment section. Comments are open. I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking on this one. Also, make sure you guys please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next week.